Happy Halloween from RiverBender.com. Now back to our daily
Oh! Welcome back. 9:32, a little bit of change on this Tuesday morning. Shannon, how are you? Welcome back.
I am great, CJ. I'm so excited to be back with you on the Daily Show.
Well, how's it been? How was the summer?
You know what? It's been busy in the home building industry. It's crazy, all the things that are going on and taking place. We've got a lot to talk about today.
A lot of good things?
Yes, a lot of good things.
Well, and Shannon, it's really an exciting time, too, because, and I wanted to ask you this, right off the bat. I was going to ask you this, actually, before we came back, when we were in break. But whenever the election goes on, how important is it for you all at the HBR to stay focused on, all of the candidates, just because you never know, how those can shake out at the end of the day and, who's going to keep supporting the trades and what their, platform is? Is it really important to do that?
Correct. Yes, it is. It's a big priority for our association locally and the National Association of Home Builders. We're very engaged with candidates, whether they're Republican or Democrat, because, again, housing should not be a political issue. And we're constantly having conversations with candidates at the local level, the state level, and the federal level to say, okay, the bills are going to come up in this next year that can affect housing. We need to know where you stand on it. And where do you stand on things that are going to add cost to housing? So we're doing that on a constant basis. An example is tonight in Clinton County at Turf. It's a bar restaurant. We're going to have a town hall meeting there. The HBR is. We've got about 8 mayors from Clinton County, and then Charlie Meyer, the representative for that area, that will be there.
I just talked to Charlie the other day.
Charlie's a good guy.
We were talking about the cupcake law that came out of Troy.
Yeah.
But, Shannon, what's led to a little bit of an uptick, that you've been seeing here the last couple of months during the summer is, can you pinpoint it to one thing?
Well, I don't think it's one thing. I think it's a combination of a few things. One is the interest rates did start coming down again, and that always has an impact. But two, again, there's no inventory out there. Existing homes are limited to what's available to people. And if it's limited to what's out there existing, that means the only other option is to build new. And our builders are staying busy. It's crazy. You talk to our trade partners that support them with supplies or do, subcontractors that are helping do the work. They're busy. They're not sitting at home, collecting unemployment. They're busy.
Right. Well, and another thing I was going to ask you about that, because that's really become a topic, is that inventory issue. Have you guys looked into or had the conversation of, how do you build new if, if you only have a limited amount of land? I know there's a lot out there, but has that ever been talked about with the big organization?
Well, here's what the discussions have been. Many of the municipalities several years ago went to minimum square footages on lots and homes sometimes that are larger than what they used to be, right? If you look at homes that are 50 years old, they sit a lot closer together, or they sit on smaller lots. That's some of the discussion that's starting to happen within the municipalities to say, look, do we need to reevaluate how many homes we're putting in areas, how much square footage it's going to be required for a home, because that's a way to help bring the cost down if the lot's a little bit smaller, and if a little bit smaller home can be built. Instead of 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet, some of these homes, we're seeing a little bit of a turn back to the 1,300 to 1,400, 1,500 square feet homes. And that leads right into another thing. An example of that would be the infill program in Belleville. Have you heard about this yet?
No, you were talking to me a little bit about this before we came on, but this sounds, fill me in on this.
So the city of Belleville is working with the HBR and some of our builders, and they're taking lots where homes have been demolished that the city owns, and we converted it into an infill program. And we're building new homes, brand new homes in communities that haven't seen new construction. One community, it's been over 100 years in Belleville since there was something new built in that community.
Whoa.
Another community and area, it's been 50 years. So what that does is it brings a new home to the area. That impacts the value of all those homes around it. It shows new excitement happening in that community and neighborhood, and it's bringing families in to homes that are affordable, because these homes in the infill program, for a 1,300 square foot, 1,400 square foot home nowadays, you're looking at $400,000
Right.
to build a new home. Well, we're building these homes in the infill areas because there's no lot cost associated with it, because we're able to purchase it, the builders are able to purchase it for $1 from the city of Belleville. And they then put a home up there, and people are able to get a new home for around $230,000 to $245,000 or $50,000, where they couldn't touch that home,
Right.
for that price in
incredible.
other areas. Yeah, it's they've already built, I believe 8 are completed already, or in the process, I should say, of being completed. And there's several other lots to continue to do this with. And it has opened up dialogue with other municipalities. We just had a meeting with the city of Granite yesterday about this exact program. And there's other municipalities to start engage about it. Why not put homes and create opportunities in those areas that aren't bad areas in the towns? It's just an individual's not going to come in and pay high dollars in an older area for a lot. They're just not going to do it.
Now, and my question is on this, would this kind of go into the line, because we're seeing a lot of, and especially at a time, not really at this point anymore, but there was a period in Alton where we were seeing drug houses and vacant houses getting torn down left and right. Is that where that program could really fill that void of not just...
Exactly.
Okay, that's
exactly.
cool. Okay.
It's, let's clean up our community. Let's clean up the area by putting a new home there that's affordable for a family. In Belleville, a lot of the areas surround the downtown area of Belleville. Well, that helps business in Belleville. We're bringing new families in, and new people to, go and patronize those local businesses in a downtown area. And it's something that's on my list to have conversations with the city of Alton as well.
Well, that's good. Well, and the thing is, though, it gives people, Shannon, just from my takeaway, just from it's the power of owning a home when you never would have that option. Because this renting thing, if people rent now, they're never going to own a home.
You can't afford it.
No. How can you afford rent plus saving money for a down payment on top
People
of...
are struggling.
No way.
Just to pay their rent every month. Rents are out of control since COVID. And it's, young people especially have lost the American dream vision of owning a home someday. They've kind of given up on it. So we are constantly, as a national association and as a local association, working on ways that we can change that narrative. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be snap our fingers and the miracles happen. But we have to continue to look at these kind of projects and programs to say, how can we keep moving forward?
Now, my question is, can you use this program? Like, let's say I use the infill program, and I also know that, let's just say that you get this going in Alton, just to help my situation. And I know that Madison County has a first-time homebuyers program. Can I use the grant from Madison County and be a part of the program?
It's very possible. It's a matter of working all the details out with each municipality is set up differently to what kind of incentives they have available, to what kind of structure can be done. So it's a community conversation, but more than likely, yes. An example would be I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm getting a beep on my phone. In the Belleville area, we've had some incentive given because they're some of the homes are union built homes, have been given by the union to the homeowner. So there's all kinds of incentives and things we can do. Another things is their taxes can be, if they're part of an enterprise zone, if that home sits in an enterprise zone, they may not have to pay real estate taxes or all of the real estate taxes for so many years. So there's all kinds of things like that each municipality has in place, and then we work with them to coordinate that and work out the arrangements between the builder and the community, and then with the homeowners.
This is really a great program, Shannon. I mean, I like this a lot. I mean, this is one that, because it's one of those where people need to have some type of motivation to do this. I mean, there's got to be, there's got to be some.
Help me out.
Right.
It's a help me out. Help me take that next step. So.
Well, and sometimes, that could spearhead someone to work a little bit harder or, find that better job, you name it. Now, at HBR, I'm sure that you guys are not only, managing and watching and monitoring the election and the results, and not only that, the consolidated that happens next year, but
in the spring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing I was wondering too is, how are you guys staying up to date on all this technology that keeps just coming out every second?
You know what? What's incredible is that we have the National Association behind us out of Washington, D.C. As an organization, our national headquarters is very in tune to everything that affects the housing industry, energy codes, energy efficiency on homes. We talked last year about IECC 21 and the impact of the costs. Well, 24 has just been released, and we're very hopeful that 24 is going to go into effect very quickly in Illinois next year, and it's going to help bring down some cost on those homes again, but yet still be even more energy efficient than the previous code. So that's all part of the support that's provided to us from National, and they're supporting 700 chapters like our chapter here, the HBR, across the country.
Wow. Well, and that's what, I'm just seeing this shit. And even the national organization to stay up to date with all of this. I mean, it's actually kind of alarming how much is coming at us. And now, how important is it for consumers with all of these new products to kind of stay up to date and really know, who is doing their due diligence on their testing?
Yeah, and that's what you just said is so important. It's doing your homework as a consumer, and kind of the HBR locally, we've done that for you, right? If I tell consumers all the time when I have conversations, if you're not sure about a company, or you're not sure if it's an out-of-town company or a local company, solar is a perfect example. There's some great local solar companies providing solar panels for homes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of companies that come from out of town that nobody knows or doesn't have as much interaction with, and sometimes it's not the best fit for the consumer. And I am all about promoting local. Stay local. Work with our local builders, our local solar installers, our local plumbers. There's about 240 members in the HBR here in the Metro East that are Missouri and Illinois companies that are all local, and they go through a vetting process. Not that every company's perfect. There's always going to be hiccups, right?
Right.
But you can know that they've gone through the vetting process with our association to say we have expectations, and they have to be local. They can't be from Utah driving in and I'm going to canvass 4 neighborhoods and put solar panels up on your house, So
those guys are the worst. I mean, there is nothing worse.
I could tell you many horror stories, CJ. We could talk a long time about that. But you're safe when you stay local. And if you want references, they can always pick up the phone and call the HBR office. They can go to our website. There's a directory there of all of our members. I
think it's really good to point out, too. I mean, what you guys are doing, especially with the directory, is, I think, in a way, raising awareness to young people about the job opportunities or just the potential that could be if they decide to go down a trade path.
Yep. And the trades, last year when you and I started talking, we were just starting to crack that egg, right? Where the public was becoming more aware of how much of a need there were. We have come leaps and bounds in the last year. People are getting it. Politicians are getting it. And there's a couple of examples I'm going to give you. We were fortunate enough here in this area. There was a $25 million grant given to the Collinsville Area Vocational Program, which is CAVC. And they're building a brand new, expanding their trades programs and technical programs, brand new building across the street from the existing high school campus. And we also got $10 million added to the budget to support trades throughout the state of Illinois. So the trades jobs are there. If there's anybody looking for a job, even if you don't have the experience or the training, the unions will provide that for you. Whether you're going into the electrical union or the plumbers union or the carpenters union, painters union, welding union, I can go on and on and on. They will provide you the training you need, and you get paid to do a job at a very good wage at the same time.
Well, and that's why, to me, this is, so many people always think, college, I gotta go, which it's, hey, for some people, I get it.
That's right.
But not everybody's built for college.
Nope.
Take a chance. There's so many different trades out there. And now, are you guys monitoring the AI kind of craze here and what it's doing to trades? To kind of, is it going to streamline some of this? Is it going to make
what it does is it streamlines some of the processes. It streamlines some of the equipment that's being used. But AI is never going to replace the craftsman.
Right.
It's not. You still have to have a skill set. You still have to physically touch that wood. You still have to physically weld that seam. Will it have an impact? Yeah, it's going to have an impact like it is going to have on every industry, but it's not going to have the same impact in the trades because it still takes people to do those things. We're seeing it more on the design side, the architectural side, and that really makes sense because that's all computer-based, right? Everything. Right. And there's a lot more capabilities for those people in those arenas with AI and the different things that can be done.
With what you're doing now with the HBR and just some of the folks you've talked to, I know that you have chances to talk to students. What are their interests kind of gauged at right now in terms of specific industry? Is it electric? Is it what are they kind of wanting to do?
We're seeing a big surge in aeronautical, which is also part of the trades. Wow. And that's got to do with some new programs that Boeing and two other aeronautical companies have set up shop in St. Clair County near the base. Manufacturing's on the rise again, tool and die cutting. When I talk about manufacturing, designing the machines that make the parts, designing the parts themselves. And we're seeing a rise on the hands-on trades, electrical and carpentry also in the building area and electrical. So it's funny because last year talking to students, I'd get one that would raise their hand. This year already, this school year, I'm getting 3 to 5 kids raising their hand that they're interested in the trades program. That's so it's awesome. Starting to catch on, we got to keep talking about and having those conversations though. These kids don't realize the great wages they can earn and have no debt. Exactly. No college debt over their head. So if they start at 18 years old when they get out of high school and they put their 20 years or 30 years in, at 58 years old, if you got 30 years in, you can retire. Right.
Right. Well, and the thing is, I mean, it's just it does so much too. I was kind of wondering for a lot of high school students, to do in anybody when you're doing a project and you're working on a team building something, and whether or not or you're doing something to wiring, you name it, to see that project completed does a lot to the morale. And right now, my generation is like depleted morale base. It's like there's a malaise on this country, type of thing. But it's we God, that could really help. I mean, these jobs help motivate people.
Well, and it's funny you say that, because when you talk to my builders and contractors and even electricians that have been in the business 30 years or more, they say that they still drive through neighborhoods and go, yep, I helped build that house. Yep, you see that restaurant over there? I did the wiring on it. And they remember, and there's a pride that goes along with it. And it's a physical thing that you can always reference back to. And think about people that build homes, the stories and the families and the memories that are developed over generations sometimes in those homes. And those builders, they're proud of that. You know, there is a pride that goes with it, and that's exciting, and it's something that we need more of.
Well, and Shannon, I know that you're busy and we got to keep moving, but before I let you go, Home Expo 2025, my apologies.
Yeah.
We're already got the dates planned.
Yeah, it's March 7th, 8th, and 9th at Belclair Fairgrounds. We'll have about 150 to 160 vendors there. We're going to have pet adoptions again. There's going to be prize giveaways. It's free for the public to attend. There'll be performing groups again on our main stage. There's a lot going on. It's an event. It's a family event, and it's filling up fast. We're probably going to be sold out for this expo for vendors by, I would say, December. So if there's any vendors out there that you're thinking about doing this Home Expo, we had about 10,000 consumers come through the door in March of 24. We expect that same kind of participation this year. If you're thinking about getting involved in the expo, you need to do it quick. Contact the HBR office at hbrmea.org or make a phone call and we can get you in the show.
Absolutely. And Shannon, before I let you go, anything else that I need to talk about today with you?
I'm going to give you a teaser for next month, and we're going to really talk about it. We're going to talk about the Wish Home next month, and that's all I'm saying.
There you go. That's a tease for what's to come. Hey, Shannon, always great talking to you. I'm glad we're getting our conversations back going, and excited to talk about this really great project next month.
Sounds great, CJ. Thanks for having me.
No problem. 9:52, a little bit of change. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show after this.